Hey guys, I think I'm live. So let me know if you can hear me and you can see me, and then we can begin. So today will be episode 4 of the Road to 2000, and this is of course very important because. Hey guys, I think I'm live. Oh, just a moment. So we'll basically learn something important today. I think somehow, guys, I think you all know how difficult it is to defeat stronger players, and I think the basic quality that stronger players have is to manage to make other people go for mistakes or induce problems. For example, I remember yesterday I played a game against Krith where I just played Rook B7, and he automatically himself just blundered because I expected him to do that. Venkatesh, we'll have the opening class because actually I want to start with the opening repertoire of 1 e4, and it requires a lot of effort to kind of run through all the lines because it will take some time. So that's why I might do it a few days later. First of all, I'm going to focus on all of this because I've already covered a repertoire of 1 d4, so it will take some time, of course. Guys, I have a little cold, so pardon my cold today. Hi guys, hi Ashlesh, Aryan, Prajwal, Alpheus, Harshal, Venkatesh, Team Spirit, and yeah. So great, guys. So guys, today is a very interesting topic because after all, the most important element of chess is to win a game. After all, it's not about winning, but in the end, it is about winning. And now you have a position in front of you, and it's white to play. So basically, what you need, guys, is you need to induce your opponent into making weakness. Hi, Ambrish. Hi, Divya. So basically, guys, what happens is often our opponents have tried to avoid any positional mistakes. They have kept their king safe, their pieces are on good squares, and everything else. So what we're trying to do is we try to create weaknesses in our opponent's camp, which we can utilize for our pieces. So this is a very easy position, of course. Yes, Divya, I saw your suggestion. I will come to it. So try to find the best sequence of moves for white. You have to induce weakness into black's camp, which you can use for an attack. So how can white do that? टीम स्पिरिट बलजी क्या है? Hi Shrikant. Hi SBS Shrey. Hi SB Shrey. You mean Queen H5, guys? SB Shrey. I think you mean Queen H5 here. Do you mean this? Queen H4 is not possible here, guys. Queen H5 is possible. So just to make sure. Okay, guys. So just try to think of a couple of candidate moves. I will help you out. So one move is obviously Queen H5. One move is Queen D3. One move is Rook F3. So try to think of these three moves and see which moves induce your opponent into weakening his king's position the maximum. So try to find those moves. Hi Abhay. Okay, Queen H5. So, Alpha is saying knight H7 Alpha is obviously not enough because king takes Queen H5, King G8. And if you play Rook F3, I don't see any problem here. I can maybe... Let's see what we can do here. I think the first move that comes to mind is just F5. And now my king obviously has the F7 square. So that alone should be enough. But even if that is not enough, there might be other moves as well. So definitely not knight H7. Team Spirit, I mentioned we are not going to make mods for at least 2 weeks, so you'll have to wait. Asking every day would not change the situation. You can see already the chat is all blue, so you will have to wait for a couple of weeks at least. Okay, Rook F3 has been mentioned by Team Spirit and Ashlesh. Now, Rook F3 is possible, guys, but the problem is H6 and the knight already has to move. So, for example, Rook H3, just a moment, guys. Just a moment. Yeah. So H6, and I don't see how you can actually make any progress here because knight has to come back and knight H3. So this is obviously not the way to attack here. I think black is already better. Okay, let's look at Queen H5, which is SB Shrey's idea. H6 and Rook F3. Now, I think if you capture here, then white of course has something. Not rook h3 maybe, then because f6, and I will head the king to f7. But maybe f takes g5, and now I have rook h3, and if f6, then I have g6. So that definitely wins for black. But the problem is that I am not forced to capture the knight. Maybe I can play a move like knight d7 or queen e8, preparing knight f6 or f5. So for example, queen e8, you do not have rook e1 now. So let's say you play a move like rook h3, and now I can imagine a move like f6, trying to exchange queens, and suddenly I think black is already better here, guys. Okay, rook f3, h6 here. Yeah, this captures. I think even this is only a draw probably with f6, because the king will come to f7. But also, instead of capturing, I think black has many moves like rook e8, where he has the option of bringing his king here, and now he's threatening to capture the knight. So you have to bring the knight back, and then your attack is gone, and the rook on h3 is basically stupid now. Yes, Abhay and many others, you have mentioned the correct move. So guys, in this situation, you have to realize that often when you have 3 pawns in front of your king, they are in the initial squares. Yes, Team Spirit. They are in their best positions, because you see they cover all the squares. You look at these squares, all of them are covered, and there are no pieces, there are no squares for your pieces, the attacking pieces available. And this is the perfect combination. And also they retain options. They can push h6, g6, f6 based on the requirement. So what you want is to weaken your king side's position, opponent's king side position. You want him to force and play moves which would weaken his king. Now, do we want him to play h6? We don't, because then the knight has to move back. So what can we do, guys? You can see there's a possible mate on h7 with the knight. So what we do is we play the move queen d3. And now h6 doesn't work, because of course queen h7 mate. So he has to play g6. Another point is if f5, then knight e6, guys, and there's a fork. So white is again winning. So what if he plays g6? So all those who have not found the move yet, try to find the move now, guys. So what is white's move here after g6? It's okay, Ashlesh, no problem at all. Yes, Ambarish and Ashlesh, exactly. So queen h3, you play this interesting maneuver where you're again attacking h7. And now you see, guys, the importance of not playing queen h5 immediately. Let's say you had the option of playing queen h3 directly. Let's say you could magically play 2 moves, queen f3 and queen h3 in one go. In that case, black would just play h6. And there's nothing doing, the knight has to come back, and I think black is even better there. But suddenly, if you first play queen d3, force him to play g6, and now you play queen h3, suddenly h6 is not possible. And that makes a huge difference, guys, here. That makes a huge difference. Yes, exactly, yes, Shrey. Yes, Shrey, exactly. So that is the huge point. You cannot play h6 now. And in this position, h5 was played by black, which is forced. So what does white play now? How do you try to win this game, guys? So now you see, guys, black's king spawns were on g7 and h7. Now they're on g6 and h5. So obviously we come to the concept of the hook now. So how can we open up black's king? Okay, so Uh, Now f5 is mentioned by 3 people. Unfortunately, guys, f5 doesn't work because the knight is hanging. So you always have to take care. And the move mentioned by Ashlesh and others is absolutely correct. Harshal also, and I think others, Prajwal and everybody, you are correct. You want to play g4 here, guys. Because if black captures, queen h7 is mate. So here black plays king g7. So now, this is a tactical position for you. Of course, positional play and tactics go hand in hand. So what does white play here, guys? It's a 3-move sequence. So try to find it. Yes, Shrey. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. G4 is the better move. So what does white play now? It's 3 or 4 moves sequence, but you can find it for sure. It's very interesting because it feels like black has something here because he can play rook h8 at the correct moment. But does he really? So that is what you have to find out, guys. Okay, rook f3 and rook f2 is mentioned by Harshal. Okay, Harshal. But even if you play rook f3 or rook h3, I think black will play rook h8. And I think he's fine now. Because if you capture, then rook takes. And suddenly black is even better. So rook f3 and rook f2 are a bit slow. So you need some immediate play as white. Otherwise, black might just even equalize. Okay, Ashlesh says g takes h5. But what after that, Ashlesh? So guys, I'm not going to move the pieces. I will try to help you visualize. So g takes h5 and rook h8. What then? You are correct. These move. This is the first move. But g takes h5 and rook h8. What then? Yes, Prajwal, it is correct. But what then after rook h8? Because it's very crucial. If black can capture on h5 with the rook, he would be fine. He would have the open h file. He can play queen f6, double up on the h file, rook a h8. So he will have some play. So how can we kind of play here, guys? How can we almost win the game, let's say? Now, Harshal, gh5, rook h8, rook f2 will be too slow. I will just capture and suddenly I do not mind black's position here. So what is the move here, guys? Okay, Ambarish and Prajwal say h6. So what after h6 and rook takes h6, guys? What is the problem here? Why can't black just capture this pawn? What is the problem, guys? I think black can simply capture, no? Yes, h6 is possible, but what then? Abhay, not rook e1. Rook e1 is too slow. Exactly. Shrey, not knight takes f7 here because rook takes h3, knight takes d8, rook takes d8, and black won an extra knight. So black would be completely winning there. But in fact, you just rearrange the move order exactly. Abhay, queen h6, Harshal and Team Spirit. You basically capture the rook first. So king takes and now knight f7, king g7, knight takes, rook takes, and you're an exchange up. You can play f5, takes, and you're a pawn and exchange up and completely winning position. This was the idea, guys, because this was the first position. So you basically play queen d3, g6, and then queen h3, so that he cannot play h6 here. And that's why inducing the weakness helped you. And after h5, you play g4, king g7, and you take, and now tactics come to your help, and in this position, black is lost. Unfortunately, no, Prajwal, knight e6 is not working because black can just capture, and white doesn't have enough pieces anywhere. So that's why it's not working. Yeah, guys, so let's move on to the next puzzle now. So this is white to play, guys. Amrish, but then I will just capture on h7. Even if you don't get mated, that is of course lost. The king has to come to f6. So that is obviously lost. There's no doubt about it. So king f6 would obviously be lost. I think you win a pawn and the black king is dancing in the center of the board. That is obviously lost for black. Yes, Prajul, but then you just win the h5 pawn and next you will capture on g6. So you win a pawn for free and black's king is weak. So if he doesn't do rook h8, then obviously you're winning anyway. So that is the idea here. So this is the second position, guys. It's white to play. So white has many options here. But how can he gain a serious positional advantage here? You have to find how can he induce black to creating a weakness. This is your position. It's very easy this time. It's not too tough. So let's see who can find it, guys. It's white to play. Okay, c takes c6 is one move. Shrey, I will come to it. I will first of all see all options so that I don't want to give other people any hints because this is simple. And then I'll come to your move. Okay, c takes d6, knight e5, bishop f5 are three moves up till now. And Jatin says bishop a6. Okay, so let's look at the moves, guys. C takes d6, bishop takes d3, and let's say rook e1. This is a normal way to play, but because this pawn on d6 is a bit weak, I think this position is not that great for white. So I think it's okay. White can play like this because he has some chances like knight c5, knight e5, but it's probably an equal position. Bishop takes f5, knight takes f5 is dead equal because now no sides have any serious advantage. White has some space on the queen side, but black will probably play through e5 at some point. This is also an equal position, guys. Yeah, even if knight e5, Harshal, it's still equal, I think. I can probably just play a move like, can I play rook f d8 here with the idea of knight d7, trying to exchange pieces. And also I can maybe just even play rook a c8 here, or even a move like h5 and then knight g4 and try to exchange this knight. For example, h5 and then knight g4 next. So regardless, this position is also equal. Yes, team spirit is possible, but we saw this. This is roughly equal, I think. It's not that special for white. Another move was knight e5, which Ashlesh mentioned. Unfortunately, this is okay, but again, I think it's just slightly equalish. In fact, this is slightly better for black because the knight gets to c4. Black will play rook e8 and e5 very soon. So again, this is an equal position. Bishop e2 is possible, Harshal. Bishop e2 is possible. Okay, let's go back first. I think apart from the move played in the game, bishop e2 would be the second best move in the position because this bishop is actually having some purpose here and this bishop is hitting an empty diagonal. So this does make some sense. I think this is a good move, but there is a better one here. Jatin, I will come to your move in a moment. So try thinking, guys. So how can white gain an advantage? There is a piece exchange about to happen. So how can white gain some advantage here? Okay, Shrey. Guys, do like the stream. And if you're here for the first time, do subscribe to the channel. You will definitely learn a lot about the game, guys. Bishop b1 does not do much, Ashlesh. I think black will just go knight c4 or even just capture first. And now go knight c4 or knight e4. I think this position is also equal. In fact, I like black a little bit because now he has managed to exchange his bad bishop. Try to think outside the box, guys. There is a better move. Can you spoil black's position somehow? One of you has already mentioned the correct solution. I'm not going to say who, but try to think, guys. I think 95, 91, all are similar moves, I think here. They are very much possible, but they don't really improve white's position because knight will only come to d3 and it has nothing special to do on d3 apart from f3. So these are equal moves, I think. Yes. Shrey, you are absolutely correct. And so was Jatin earlier. Abhay, knight a5 is possible, but problem is bishop takes d3 and the rook is attacked. And if you move the rook, then suddenly it's not so clear. Let's say rook d1, then bishop e2, and I'm threatening this piece as well, and black will basically win a piece for free. Exactly, bishop a6. Exactly. Bishop a6 is the move. You know that these two pieces can get exchanged. So how can you get this piece exchanged in the best way possible? You play bishop a6. Now, if this piece is attacked, so if black were to move, we capture on b7, capture on c6, and we win the game. And if he captures here, we capture on d6. And now c6 is hanging. These pawns are doubled. Knight c5 is coming. Knight e5 is coming. And white is completely winning. Exactly, guys. This was very interesting. I like this position. It was simple. It was a one-move puzzle. But you still had to think outside the box a little bit, I think. Let's move on to the next puzzle now, guys. Yeah, that was amazing, Jatin. You found it very quickly. So let's go to the next one now, guys. Okay. So now this is another position, guys. And this is kind of from the Sicilian defense as black. And this is very complicated. Kind of the Scheveningen structure where black keeps most of his pawns like this. Below the 6th rank. So what can black play here, guys? How can he tempt white into making a weakness here? How can he do that? How can he create some weaknesses in white's camp? Take your time, guys. This position looks at least more complicated, so you can take your time, guys. It's black to play, Jatin. If you mean a5, I'll come to that. I'll come to that. Try to think, guys. How can you create? Notice the weak point in white's camp. Which squares, which pieces do you think are weakly placed and which can be attacked? And then try to think how can you attack them. This is not so easy. The last one was slightly easier, but still possible to solve, I think. You can take your time, guys. Harshal, d5 is okay, but what is the idea for d5? Queen c5 check is also okay. I will come to both of these moves. But guys, what is the idea behind those two moves? You also have to mention that. Okay, h4 is chess Kharagpur's idea. Okay. Okay, Ashlesh, okay. Okay, let's try to analyze, guys. So, if you play h4 here, there are some ideas for white, to be honest. The ideas are, for example, f5. He attacks your knight. So you can see the knight, which is kind of protecting h4 is attacked. So let's say you captures, and suddenly the knight has to move, right? I mean, you can play something like this. Let's say queen takes, knight e5. Let's say queen e3. But suddenly the position is still very complicated because white has the d5 square now. And he has the two bishops. So I would rather be white here, guys, only because practically this position is better for white because he has proper control of the light squares and he has the two bishops. So h4, you have to prepare it somehow. Queen c5 check is the normal move, guys. This can be played. But Ashlesh, there's a better move here. You all are kind of correct, guys. h4 is an interesting move, but you have to prepare it because right now f5 can come, and suddenly the knight will have to move. So that is the problem. Try to use your mind, guys. Try to think outside the box. So how can I prepare h4? How can I put in the best way possible in this position? So try to think. How can you prepare it? Okay, Jatin says d5. So let's okay, queen c6 would not be a good move here, I think, guys, because this is opposite the bishop, and you should not do this unless you have some threats. So that is a bit risky here, I think. For example, knight d4, and you already are losing a tempo. So not queen c6. Okay, Ashlesh. So let's say d5. You have mentioned d5. Now, there are two moves here. If e5 is played, then of course knight e4 takes is fine for black. But what if c takes d5? Now what, guys? Now what does black play? This is a complicated position, but I think black can play some good moves here. So what is the best move in this position, guys? Try to think, guys. What can you play now? So you had mentioned h4. So that was an interesting idea. So can you... Okay, bishop c5 check. I think bishop c5 check, just king h1. And it does not change much here, guys, I think. The bishop on c5 can come at any point. So that does not make any changes, I think. The position is still similar because this move can come at any point. It cannot be stopped. So it does not change the position in any way. So guys, what did d5 achieve? After d5, what is open? Like what has happened? What was the purpose of playing d5? what is the extra piece that has come into play now after black has played d5? Which is that extra piece? Can you mention that piece? I see two more pieces come into play. So which are those two pieces which have now come into play after black has played d5? Hi Nidhi. Bishop b4 is possible, but the problem here is that there are many moves you have to consider. For example, I would not be surprised, for example, if rook c1 is a decent move because you just kind of protect the knight, and then suddenly if you capture, then even rook takes c3 and suddenly white's pieces are attacking you and white wins this pawn. And apart from that, I am even wondering if this is possible just to kind of go with the attack, because if you capture here, then takes and takes here. So you have to capture with one of the pieces. Let's say queen takes, rook d1, queen, I don't know where, c7, then suddenly rook c1, and you see there are many problems here. And apart from all of this, I think just rook c1 and you just protect the knight and white develops a piece. So maybe you have to play something else. Hi Prateek. Hi Kushal. Okay, queen's rook. Okay, the rook, I think black's rooks are perfectly placed, guys. Two more pieces have come into play. Right now the rook is still blocked, kind of. So it's still not opened up. Yes, Prajwal, exactly. The bishop has come into play and the queen has come into play. And because we see that the bishop can always go to c5, we should also focus whether the queen can come into play. Not along this diagonal, of course. Can the queen come into play along this diagonal? So knight takes f4 is one option, but I think it's not enough because black does not have enough pieces here. White can just capture here. And he only has, he basically has nothing for the piece here because black's king is also kind of weak here. And he does not have enough pieces to attack. Now we come to your idea, guys. Use your idea which you were mentioning at the start of the puzzle. So how can we use this open diagonal for black? How can black use this, guys? How can he use this? E5 is too much because white will just play f5, Harshal. And then suddenly white is just a pawn up. Yes, exactly, guys. So if you played h4 in the original position, f5 was possible. And you just have to move the knight. It's not bad for black, but white is slightly better. So now you play d5. You prepare the queen to capture on f4. And after white takes, you play h4. So now if white captures, you can capture with the queen. And that is much more effective because suddenly white's king side is completely open. Yes, guys, exactly. So knight takes was played. Knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes f4. And now you see suddenly white's king is completely open. Now the bishop can also come into play. Bishop d6 can be played where h2 will be made. So in some cases, exactly. So now d takes e6, f takes e6, e5, bishop c5, king h1. And now what do you play as black, guys? What is the move that black can play here? Now we come to tactics again. So what can black play here? Exactly, Crucial. That is the idea. Exactly. So you basically, okay, Jatin, knight h5. That is the move. But what's h5? Yeah, queen h4 is possible, but I think black is kind of going for mate here. So capturing a pawn is also possible, but there are better moves. Knight h5 is the best move. But what after queen takes h5? Yes, Chess, Kharagpur and Harshal, you're correct. So what now? Bishop g2 here is possible, but I think it's not so clear whether black is actually winning now. I don't see a check now. That is the problem. So maybe not bishop g2. There's a better move, guys, which is winning on the spot. Knight e4 is not possible, guys, because black does not have a knight. I think you mean for white. I'm asking black to move. Queen e3 is possible, but the problem is queen g4. And suddenly white defends everything, and he's also threatening queen e6. Yes, Shreyan Kharagpur bishop g2 is not so clear as we saw. Queen g3, guys, the amazing move queen g3. If bishop takes b7 happens, queen h3 is made. Yes, Prajwal and Ashlesh. And if, let's say, knight d5 was played in the game, now you capture rook takes d5, rook f1. And now what does black play, guys? It's mate in 5 now, guys. Can you find the mate in 5? Can you find the mate in 5, guys? So it's very interesting. In 5 moves, white will be checkmated. Can you find the mate in 5, guys? Okay, rook d2 here. I think queen f7 will be played, guys. And king h8 and queen takes b7. And I think already, because the bishop is protected, white is winning here. White is in fact winning here, guys. So you have to be careful. Rook takes e5. I think again queen f7, king h7, and queen takes b7. And again, white is winning. Queen takes h3, bishop takes h3. Unfortunately, I don't see a mate here, guys, because you can play rook d2, but then rook f3, and everything is stopped. So you just a queen down here. Rook d3. Queen f7 again. Queen f7 again, Kushal. And queen takes b7. And you see this move is always spoiling black's plans. So you have to be careful here. What does black play for mate in 5? Hi, Saurav. The thing is that you just have to find one move. If you find the first move, you'll find the mate in 5 very easily. It's very simple. Yes, Ashlesh, Abhay, and Alpheus, and everybody else. Queen takes g2 is the move. King g2, rook d2 check. It's a double check. So king g3, rook g2, king f4, rook f8, queen f7, and rook f7 is the mate here. And hi, Ajinkya. Rook f8 directly is not okay. Rook f. Let's look at rook f8. The problem here is that somehow rook takes f8, king takes f8, and now rook f1 check. So white still will have that queen f7 and queen takes b7 sometimes. So that's why, guys, just queen takes g2 works, and it's winning immediately. Rook d7 prevents queen f7, but yeah, I think this is also possible. But white will play rook f3, and the game goes on. I think black is winning, but it will take a long game. So mate in 5 is happening, guys. So that is the easiest. Yeah, guys. Exactly. Yeah, bishops. 2 bishops are very strong, guys. This could have actually been covered in a topic on 2 bishops. 2 bishops are very, very strong, guys. So now let's move on to the next puzzle, guys. So this is white to play. Again, we have to induce mistakes in black's position. So how can we do that, guys? How can we do that? How can we induce mistakes, weaknesses into black's position, which we can use for our active pieces? Yeah, Saurav, the Pottage Gambit is not always bad. It is definitely good sometimes. So how can white improve his pieces and create weaknesses in black's camp here? there's a good plan available for white here, guys. Okay. Now rook d8 is possible, of course, but I think black will play rook c8, and you cannot really play this because of let's say takes. Sorry, yeah, takes and rook d1 mate. So you will have to capture probably rook takes, and still white is better, but there's a better move here, guys. Rook d8, rook c6, queen c6. Unfortunate, guys, it's a free rook, and that is losing for white. He has rook c8, Kushal. He has rook c8, and he fights on. Bishop takes e5. This can be played, but there will be some problems, guys, because this bishop is in a pin, and yeah, I don't know if queen c5 can be played here, putting some pressure on the bishop, and maybe you can play rook d8, rook c8, takes. Yeah, I think this is also possible, maybe. But this is always a bit risky, guys. You have to be absolutely sure about your calculation to play a move like bishop takes e5. There's a much safer and a much better move here. Hi, Meme or Maddie. Bishop takes, knight takes, queen takes. Your line is correct, but I think black is not forced to capture here. I think he can play moves like rook here, and suddenly, there are some problems, and he can also play moves like queen c5. So there are some problems to solve for white. It's not completely clear, guys. That is the problem here. Not rook takes g6, Sayantan, because it does not give white anything at all. It's just an exchange sacrifice for nothing. Harshal, f4, this opens up white's king. You can see how this diagonal is open now. So I would not like to play this and open up my king. But you're very close. Yes, Kushal, you are absolutely correct. So guys, you notice that you would like to capture on e5, right? And if you notice that the knight on g6 is a bit awkwardly placed. So what can you do to kind of push black's pieces away? You look at this queen, completely out of play. This rook not doing much. This rook is a good piece, but you cannot really do much about it. But you can push the knight away. And as we mentioned, you have to create some weaknesses in your opponent's camp. And what can be better than creating weaknesses around your opponent's king? So you play the move rook c6 only to queen b7, guys. And suddenly white is losing. There's a pin. So now you play the move h4, guys. So the idea is you just want to push this pawn all the way if possible. Remove this knight from g6, which is a good piece. And then you can also capture here if you want to. So that is the idea here. h4 is a very interesting move. It removes any back rank problems. It pushes the black knight back and will also create weaknesses in black's king side. So now here there are many moves. If h6, we just play h5. If h5, queen f5, and we just win the pawn for free. So that is not possible. Yes, Divya, exactly. And now f6 was played. Queen d5 check. King h8. And you see how strong white's pieces are suddenly. h5. Knight f8. And now what do you play as white, guys? Yeah, Harry pawn on fire. H the Harry pawn. Exactly, Alpheus. So now what do you play, guys? Okay, rook d8 is one move. Uh, rook d8 is possible, Alpheus. I think it is, but I think black will just capture and then he will go king g8. I think he'll play something like this, preparing rook d7 here. And because your bishop is out of play, I would not like to play this position. Sort of again, after rook d8, I think just king g8 here. And because your bishop is bad, then I'm not so sure if white is actually even better here anymore. So that's why I think h6 is the best move, which has been mentioned by Divya and Ashlesh. So you see that the f6 pawn is kind of falling here. Yes, Prajwal. Sanket, I did not understand your question. King e7 is not possible. So now knight g6 was played. And now what do you play, guys? This is the interesting moment. It's tactics again. What do you play here? Yes, Divya, I will. I will stream. I'm not sure what time I will stream, but we will stream again later on. Yes. Yes, Kushal, that is the idea, but that's why black plays knight g6 to prevent bishop f4, h4 for now. And this is prevented. But now what does white play? It's again tactics now, guys. Not the f4 pawn, Ajinkyan. I think white should not weaken his own king, because if you play move like f4, then your king is also becoming weak, and I do not like that. So that's why not f4. Rook d7 is possible, but guys, we do not want to exchange pieces because our bishop on g3 is also bad. So exchanging pieces is not so good. Black can actually just capture now. Now that there is no queen on board, black can actually get away with this. So definitely not exchanging queens. H takes d7, king takes d7, and rook d7 also makes no difference. I think everything will be captured. And black has some chances here, guys, because now there are no queens on board. Rook d8 is also similar, guys. Okay, rook d8, let's see. Okay, rook d8. Now this is winning, guys. This is winning because now it's not so clear. But there is a better move, at least a more beautiful move, which Ashlesh and Sanket have mentioned, which is the move to queen to e6, guys. Exactly, queen e6 wins. And if black were to capture, rook d8 is made. So rook f8 was played, and now rook d7, g takes h6, and now there's a surprising move, bishop to h4. So bishop to h4 has been played. So bishop f6 is a threat, the move Kushal mentioned. So knight takes h4, and now queen to e7, and black resigns because queen takes f8 is a threat, queen h7 mate is threatened, queen g7 mate is threatened, and the rook is hanging. So there's no way for black to defend this, and that's why black resigned. This was an interesting puzzle, and now we move to the next one, guys. So this is a position. You're black here. And what do you think black should play here, guys? You see white's king side is a bit open, but this can also be strong in some cases, but right now it looks a bit weak. So what can black do here? Okay, Kushal, I'll do that. I'll do that, Kushal. Yeah, Kushal, I'll do that. I'll do that from this puzzle. I just have a cold today, guys, so that's why it's like a bit irritating for me actually. That is the only thing. So that's why I might be hurrying a little bit subconsciously. Okay, so we have f5, queen c1, and g5. Let's look at these. So f5 is an obvious mistake, guys, because ef5 and the bishop is hanging and white has just won a pawn. So f5 obviously would be a blunder here. Now queen c1 would have been good here, but somehow queen d3 maybe. And I'm not sure what the queen is doing here on c1, because at some point white is going to push. Now there's no clear plan for white either here, but I think white is doing fine, guys. I think he's doing fine. Maybe he will play f5 and the bishop is kind of trapped right now. It has nowhere to go. Regardless, I think queen c1 does not do anything exactly. h5 again, guys. h5, the problem is it can be captured and takes, and suddenly again queen d3, preparing queen g3 here sometimes, and also f5 and also e5. So I think white is the one who's better here. So because you see, black's king is open, white has at least one pawn in front of his king. So I would not play h5 here. Yes, exactly, guys. Prajwal, Alpheus, and Kushal have mentioned the correct move. Ashlesh as well. Yeah, sort of. Okay, kabhi kaam nahi aate. Queen c7, guys, I think would be met by queen f3 or e5. Both moves look interesting and both give white a slight advantage. And the move is g5, guys. So how do we justify this move? You see how white has a light square bishop. That means he has enough control of the light squares near his king. But now you check these dark squares. There are not many pieces defending these dark squares. If white could magically play queen d3, queen g3 in two moves, then his queen will be defending these squares. But right now it's not. It is at least two moves away because it cannot play to these two squares. So for that reason, we play the move g5, opening up this diagonal towards the king when white's pieces are not prepared, guys. That is the basic concept here. Queen c7 will come, Harshal, at some point, but first we play g5 to open up the diagonal. So now what option does white have? No, Alpheus, he also meant g5 is the move, definitely. So now, if f5 is played, queen e5 check, king h1, rook c1 check, rook d1, and queen to a1. And you see how this pawn is falling very soon, guys. And if this pawn falls, this pawn will just queen, and this bishop will just be a sitting duck here. So that's why f5 is not a good move here. Yes, Kushal, exactly. Dark squares look very empty and they can be used by the black pieces. And now queen f2 was played. So queen takes f2, rook takes f2, and g takes f4. So now the problem is white cannot capture the pawn on f4 because bishop takes a2 will come. So he plays rook f3. Yes, Alpheus, it worked. Rook a8, rook f2, and now black plays f3, the excellent move. And because if bishop takes, then I think the problem is rook b8. We get rook b2 in. And if rook takes, then we capture on a2. So you see, in either case, white cannot capture so easily. Yeah, Ashlesh. So now bishop f1 was played. And now we just play rook b2, guys. And these moves are very obvious. Black just captures the extra pawn and he wins the game. Okay, let me see that queen d3. So if you play queen f3, let's say, I think black will play a move like queen a5, attacking the rook and getting rook c3 as an option. So you see the queen is not so perfectly placed on the third rank. Of course, this would have been slightly better than the game, but I think practically black is better because he has this weak pawn on a2. Although white is a pawn up technically, so of course he will have some chances as well. But right now rook c3 is coming, guys, and that is not easy to meet. And if he plays queen d3, of course, then we can just capture the pawn. So that is just winning for black. Yeah, guys, f3 is an interesting move. And that's why g5 in general, guys, even if there is a defense for white, is a good move. For example, you're opening up this diagonal and there are no white pieces which can control this diagonal right now. It takes at least two moves, not even queen e3, queen d3 and queen g3. So definitely you should open up the king side. I'll explain, Prajwal. So for example, g5, queen f2 takes, and rook f3, rook a8, rook f2. So now, if I play rook b8 here, the problem is rook f3. So white's rook has the f3 square to attack our pawn. We cannot play rook b2 because a3 will be lost. So what we do is, we play f3. So if rook f3, we capture the pawn with the bishop. And if he captures bishop takes f3, now we play rook b8 and there is no rook f3 to target the a3 pawn. So basically, we force his bishop to occupy the f3 square, so that rook f3 is not possible. Exactly, crucial, yeah. Once the a2 pawn is lost, the game is over. There's nothing doing then. So this was an interesting puzzle, guys, I think. And now the next one is even more interesting. I think the one who finds that is definitely an amazing player positionally. So let's see who can find the next puzzle. I think, okay, there might not be any doubts now, I think. So let's go to the next one. Yeah, Kushal. Yeah, thanks, Ashlesh. So now we come to this position, guys. Now this is very, very crucial because black is kind of threatening to move the knight somewhere and capture our pawn. So what can white do to create some threats here? This position is equal, guys. It's not, okay, slightly better for white maybe. But what can white do to create some serious threats? Is Anish Giri really here? Hi Anish, if you're there. Really? Hi Anish. We loved your game against Carlsen. Definitely, it was amazing. I think we covered that game in a video. It was absolutely amazing. Anish Giri OP in the chat, guys. Yeah, it's a verified account, guys. Yeah, it might be Anish actually. It might be Anish. Yeah, that's amazing. Anish, if you're here, that's amazing. Thank you for joining in. I doubt you will learn much about from here, but yeah, Ashlesh, Anish Giri in the house. Anish, we absolutely love you, and do check out our video which we put out regarding you and Magnus as well. He's definitely Shubham. Thank you, Anish. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Anish. If it's really Anish, thanks a lot. That is based on a TV host which is Indian. I don't want to name him. Let's just say it's Sarnab Goswami. You can check him out. It's hilarious. I adopted it based on him. Thanks a lot, Anish. If it's actually you, thanks a lot. you being here just made up my day. It actually made up my day. It actually made up my day, Anish. You being here actually. Yeah, guys, if he's here, it's absolutely amazing. Yeah, finally, he is the one who must not be named. So maybe we should add an S in front of him. So Sarnab Goswami is a news anchor. I think would be better. That would be amazing. That would be better, guys. I think that would be better. That's amazing, Aryan. It's amazing. I'm glad you are here, Anish, because we really adore you. I think I remember we saw a couple of your videos when you first made your GM norm, for example, and then all your games, because I think chess is not necessarily popularized by amazing moves because people, general public, cannot understand it. I think chess is popularized by some sort of interesting personalities like you, for example, who actually keeps some funny element there in the game, along with Magnus, along with Samay, along with Sagar Shah, who has an amazing style of commentary, I think. So that's why I think somehow all these elements combined actually make chess more popular, and thank you for that actually. Definitely Anish Giri can be made mod. Yeah, guys, definitely that can be done. Anish is now mod, guys. Anish is now mod. Yeah, I am blown away as well. I am blown away as well, guys. It's absolutely amazing that he's here. To be honest, of course, I hope that he would see the video, but I just could not believe that he's here. That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you, Anish. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Anish. Thanks a lot. It's an honor that you are here, Anish. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you for joining in. Good luck for the tournament, by the way. You have a tournament today against many strong players, so good luck. Yeah, Ashlesh, even I am blown away, definitely. And we are waiting for you to stream, Anish. We do follow you regularly. So do come and stream very soon. Yeah, Rohit. That does make a lot of sense. Guys, it's amazing that Anish has joined us. But okay, I have a puzzle in front of you as well. So try to find the pattern for white here, guys. So you can see black is trying to simply capture the g4 pawn. And if he manages to capture the g4 pawn, I think somehow the position will turn out to be equal. So how can white create some weaknesses? You have to be fast. So how can white create some weaknesses in black's camp, which he can use? White's king is very safe because he has the a2 square and black has the knight, which is not so quickly can... Yes, yes, Anish. Yes, Anish, you're absolutely correct, of course. Guys, Anish has come up with the correct solution. So that's why he's a mod, guys. That's why he's a mod. He's not a mod because he's Anish Giri, because he found the solution so quickly. That's why he's a moderator. Yeah, yeah, Ashlesh, I am right there in the caravan with you. And Anish, by the way, if you're listening, I also follow the US channels and I also agree they don't look that funny without the background music. I saw one of your interviews where once the virus started, they did not have any interviews with the audience and the fake laughter. So I also follow all of those Stephen Colbert and Trevor Noah and all of these. Bye, Anish, and good luck for your tournaments. We'll be following your games and even analyzing them. So good luck. Yeah, Ashlesh. Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Kushal, you are correct. You are correct. Guys, let's make it a deal. So, uh, the first person to solve the next puzzle would be a moderator, and we'll keep it the same for almost every day. Let's keep it as a tradition, I guys. So, the toughest puzzle there, which is the toughest puzzle in the day, you see, guys, I'm already fumbling that Anish is here. So, whichever is the toughest puzzle for the day, if you guys solve it, the first person to solve it will get mod for the day. Let's keep it that way and see if it works. Hi Abhinava. Yes, Anish is in the chat. That's amazing that he's there. And yeah, AGOP in the chat, guys. It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing that he's here. Yeah, Shlesh, exactly. Ashlesh, you still have to solve the puzzle. You still have to solve the puzzle. So also focus on the puzzle. He has mentioned the solution, but guys, still try to find the solution. Some of you who have not solved it, and try to find the idea there, guys. What is the idea behind this maneuver? So, okay, I will mention the maneuver which Anish mentioned, which is very critical to this position because white has to be very fast here, guys. So let's try to analyze. So, guys, you see, black's king is kind of trapped. You look at this position. Yeah, I agree, Kushal. His contribution to chess is absolutely amazing. And we would definitely like to see him as world champion very soon because his persona as a world champion would be very fascinating. And I think more and more public will be attracted to it. So definitely waiting for you to be world champion, Anish. Heart attack incoming. Ashlesh, don't do that. So guys, I'll mention the maneuver because Anish has mentioned it. So in this position, you can see the king on c7. It's kind of in a box, not entirely in a box, because technically he has the a6 square right now, which does look slightly safe. And also there are no any checks right now because knight on g5 controls the f7 square. So somehow it doesn't seem so easy for white to break through. Also, this bishop is hitting an empty diagonal. So if you have not seen the solution, try to find the correct way for white to create some chances here. How can white create some active chances and make black suffer a little bit? It's still not winning for white, but if you are white here, what would you play? Try to find the correct solution. Yeah, Prajwal. Okay, definitely not Prajwal. I think everybody deserves to be a mod. If everybody could be a mod, I would make them. It's just that the chat would be completely blue. Yes, Ashlesh. Yes, Ashlesh. Even I did. So it's absolutely amazing. Somebody handle Ashlesh, guys. Somebody hold on to him. Yes, Aryan, he's definitely a future world champion. And I think he as a world champion would be the best thing, one of the best things that has happened to chess, I think. So we would love to see that. Aryan, yeah, but I think it's only because there are no tournaments right now. And Carlsen got to play and Firuza got to play a few tournaments. I think that is the reason for that. So definitely... Okay, guys, back to the puzzle. Back to the puzzle, guys. Back to the puzzle. So you have this position in front of you. And you can see how black's king is boxed up, guys. So how can you create some threats? Guys, focus on the puzzle. I understand the excitement. Yes, Kushal, exactly. Yeah, we love the tweets, Divya. We love the tweets. Yes, Ashlesh. He's actually a favorite of mine as well. As a complete chess player, definitely, because I mean his personality is amazing. Yeah. I think for Indian chess, Samay has also done a lot because he has gotten people interested. But overall, like for example, people who don't understand Hindi, for example, they cannot really follow Samay. And for such people, I think, especially even for the Indian audience, actually, Anish is amazing because he's funny in his own right and he has an amazing personality, guys. Aryan, I'm trying to focus. I am. It's also exciting that Anish was here and he wrote in our chat. It's of course amazing. So guys, let's focus on the puzzle, guys. Yeah, he mentioned the answer very quickly, guys. That is the skill of a 2700. So let's try to learn from that. Try to find the solution, guys. Try to find the solution. Otherwise, I will unmod the unmod somebody. So try to find the solution, guys. Yes, Ashlesh, he was here, I think, because he had a tick on him. So he was definitely the verified account and he was here. Try to find the maneuver, guys. What does white play? We have derailed the chat a little bit. Ashlesh, find the solution. Find the solution, Ashlesh. I will have to come to your house and then force you to shake you up and find the solution. Kushal, I understand your point. Yes, Alpheus, that is the maneuver he mentioned. So guys, you see this position and the basic idea here is black's pieces are on the king's side right now. And somehow his pieces are not so well coordinated, but it's only a temporary thing. It's like having an opening advantage. So you can see if black can play moves like rook g7, he will cover up the 7th rank. And there will be no checks along the 7th rank. Then he can move the knight somewhere. He can also play rook f7. He can play knight e4. And then suddenly it's not so clear. I mean, where is white's advantage coming from? So especially rook g7, rook f7 would also control the f4 square. So there is no maneuver later on. So white has to be very quick, guys. Yeah, Pranali. I will tell Sarnav. Yeah. So guys, Anish, the move Anish mentioned and the move that was played in the game, bishop a5 is the correct one because it does create some interesting ideas here. So let's try to understand what are the interesting ideas. So black, of course, cannot play a move like rook d7, king d7, that is, because we play rook d8 check, king e7, rook a8, a6, and now simply rook a7 wins the b7 pawn. So, of course, white should be better here. Of course, black has some counterplay, but definitely, I think white is slightly better here. So, he plays b6, and nothing feels wrong here. b6 feels like a normal move. You, of course, have the b7 square and the a6 square. But now we play the interesting move, bishop to d2. So, we reroute the bishop from this kind of useless diagonal, let's say, from a3, f8 to bishop to d2, and now bishop f4. So that is the idea here. And you see the check is very threatening. It's not so clear where the black king will go. And as we will see in the near future, the a6 square is not safe either, guys. Ashlesh, just deep breaths, Ashlesh, deep breaths. Take deep breaths and you'll be fine. Shreyansh, we might have the Simon later in the day. But for now, we are looking at some interesting ideas here. So try to focus on this, and we will check that out. Rohit, yeah, maybe. Yeah, Ashlesh, he definitely made my day as well. He made our day, definitely. It was amazing. So now, guys, bishop knight e4 was played, and now bishop f4. We continue with this maneuver. We should not hesitate, because black is threatening to capture the g4 pawn, and he also has some counterplay here. So king b7, and now we play rook f7, and black plays king a8. Now in the game, white just repeats moves a couple of times. That cannot be bad. Now what do you play as white, guys? This is your position. So hopefully you'll be able to concentrate after this. It is white to play, and what does white play here, guys? Because you see the king has some safe squares there. It's not completely clear how white utilizes his advantage. This slight inconvenience for the black king. So what does white play here? What is the best plan for white here, guys? Try to find it. It's your move. Ashlesh, I think you should thank Anish. I mean, even I'm thanking Anish. You do not need to thank us for this. Okay, rook b8 is an interesting idea, I would say. Let's try to analyze it. let's say rook b8. The king, of course, has to go to a6. But the problem somehow is that rook takes g4 is coming, guys. And in that case, the rook will also attack the bishop. So you will have to move the bishop again. And it helps black gain some time. You see, white does not have enough time to create some counterplay here. So that's why you have to come up with a better move here. Great, I think it was 10 minutes, 15 minutes back he came. Alpheus, I don't think Sarnav made Anish mad. He's an amazing person, and he would always take in the right spirits. Exactly, Prajwal. Abhay, I think you also mean b4. And Kushal, I think you are mostly the first one to come up with the correct moves. I still don't know how you're not a grandmaster. So b4, exactly, guys. So b4 is the idea here. So you see how white is gaining space, and he's trying to cover up this square. If he can cover up these squares, suddenly black's king will feel very shaky. Imagine b5, rook b8 is a mating threat, mate in one. So it's not so easy for black. Now rook takes g4, and there were a couple of moves played like rook f7, king a8, king c2, improving the position, h5, and now a4. So white is pushing on further. h4, king d3, knight g5, rook f8 check, king b7. And now it's the final moves. These are very easy, of course. So what does white play now, guys? It's a 3-move continuation you have to find. How do you finish off the game here? Kushal, I will, for example, I will put out a position today. Not this one. So whosoever is the first one to find the correct solution to that position will get the mod for today. So that will be fair. So for now, try to find this. Yeah, Kushal. But I think you definitely come up with correct ideas very quickly. I think you definitely have a knack for the game. Prajwal, not for all positions, but I will tell you exactly which position. Not this puzzle. We'll come up with an interesting one after this. For now, try to find the correct move here, guys. Okay, so 5 people have mentioned b5. Let's look at b5. I think there's one problem here, guys. That is c takes, pawn takes, and black can avoid checkmate here by playing the move a6. I think it's a6 at least, because it seems that. Otherwise, I cannot see any defense. And of course, white is better here, guys. He has this amazing pawn chain. But because of the less number of pawns and this passed pawn on h4, black definitely has some counterplay here, guys. And if you give rook b8 check now, then just king a7. And you see this pawn moving has helped. So how can you prevent this? b5 is the idea, guys. But you have to prevent a6. You are all correct, guys. You just have to reshuffle the move order. So how can you reshuffle the move order so that you have interesting ideas here and black will be lost in 3 moves from now? So try to find it. Okay. After Anish, Tajabu is also here, guys. Okay, so let's look at it. Rook b8 check. King a6. Now, guys, if you play b5, the problem is c takes, a takes, and king a5. And I think black is escaping. And I'm not even sure if white is better anymore. So you have to be careful, guys. So what do we play here to trap the black king? So what do we play here to trap the black king, guys? This is the final moment of the puzzle. And then we'll go to the next one. Yes, exactly, Alpheus. Bishop d2. Bishop d2 is the correct move so that you don't allow the king to come to a5. And now b5 is threatened. and there is absolutely no defense to it, and black resigned in this position. So absolutely correct. So bishop d2 is the correct move here, guys. Amazing, amazing, guys. You found it. Amazing, Alpheus. Yes, Krit. Anish had a chat with us. That's absolutely amazing. He had a full-on conversation with us, and with the chat as well, with me as well, and it was amazing. I'm amazed that he joined us. Yes, Kushal, exactly. Bishop c7 would not do the job, guys. I think because the a5 square is still not covered, and if you play b5, king a5 will still happen. So that's why bishop d2, covering up the a5 square, and now just b5 will be pushed, and then suddenly there is no way for black to defend. Hi, Purvi. So now we go to the next puzzle. By the way, Purvi, you just missed Anish Giri. Anybody who's just joining us, you missed Anish Giri today in the chat. He came and he interacted with us. So that's why you missed something very crucial. But he might come later as well, guys. So you never know. But for now, you missed Anish, guys. So, guys, this is the position. And yes, Ashlesh, he might. So I hope so too. And more so, I hope he joins us again. I think even that would be special. If he joins us one more time, that would be amazing. Okay, guys, so this is the position as white. The first person to find the correct idea here will get mod. So let's see who can find the correct idea for white here, guys. It's white to play. Krit is not eligible for this, guys, because if Krit is mod, then the entire chat will turn blue. So apart from Krit, everybody is eligible for this. Krit, okay. Don't worry, Krit. It's not a problem. You're not unlucky, Purvi. You definitely won the women's prize in our tournament. So you're definitely not unlucky. And you just missed him, but you can still check the chat upwards. And he might join later. Kushal, I'm not nervous. I am a bit excited. It's like winning your first game against a grandmaster. I have the same feeling. When I won my first game against, I think it was Lucas Van Forest. I won my first game in the London system against him, and I felt this immense adrenaline flowing through my body, and I'm feeling the same kind of emotions. Not nervousness, just excitement that he was here. Yes, Rohit, he will. He's playing a tournament right now, so the next time he streams, maybe he will. No, Krit. I'm not going to ask him to collab. He has much better things to do. I'm just glad he was here. That's absolutely amazing. And if he raids us, that would be absolutely amazing. You can see him anytime on his stream, Krit. Sure. Yes, Ashlesh, you can do that. You can do that. So what is the position here, guys? Mod status is at stake here. What is the position? What is the best idea for white here, guys? Krit, he might do that later. He was not streaming right now. So when he streams, maybe he might do that. Try to find the correct idea here, guys. Guys, I think if I had to choose between him coming on the stream and him raiding us, I don't know which one I would prefer, because talking to him and knowing that he's listening to us and talking to you guys is also an amazing feeling. Of course, I would like him to raid us. I mean, that would help the channel grow immensely. I think our content is decent enough. We just don't have exposure. So that would genuinely help. But him kind of interacting with us is more amazing, I think, in some ways. He's down to earth as well. So it's very amazing. No, Rohit, definitely not. Trust me, guys. That is not going to happen. I can promise you, even if we have like, I don't know, 1 million subscribers someday, you guys will never have to super chat us. We'll make sure of that. Don't worry, guys. Yeah, Ashlesh. Ashlesh, yeah. That is true. Okay, there are many moves, guys. I think there are many moves which have been mentioned. So we'll have to look at them one by one. So let's look at the most obvious move, guys. I think rook c7, which looks like the most obvious move because you take the 7th rank, which is obviously good. But the problem here is that black can play rook f7, guys, and you don't have the c6 square because it protects, the knight controls it. And if you play check, rook f8 again. And because the pawn structure is symmetrical, you can see there are no imbalances. The pawn structure is symmetrical. I would not like to trade rooks here. I think white would lose a significant portion of the advantage. So that's why rook c7 is a bit quick here, I think. So that's why there should be something else. Let's look at b4, which was mentioned by Prajwal. Now b4 is of course possible, Prajwal, but it does give up the c4 square. So I'm wondering if black can first bring the king to d6, then play knight d7, b5, knight b6, and knight c4. I'm not sure if black can manage this, but this is something like what his plan will be. And the game goes on. Then the game goes on. I think it's b4 is possible, but it's not the best move in the position. Now, knight d3 would be a good move, and it is actually. It's just that the knight does not have many places to go, guys. See, this square is covered, this square is covered, and knight b4 doesn't threaten much because the pawn is protected. So maybe there's a better move here, guys. No, Purvi, definitely not. Trust me on this. It's like your first win against a grandmaster, your first something is always special, and you are our first audience, all of you guys, our first 900 or 1,000 subscribers. So definitely that will never happen. Ashlesh, yeah, I can understand why. I can understand. Don't worry. Fake. Yeah. Hi, Padmesh. I don't think he's watching, Ashlesh. I think he has better jobs to do. He might be preparing for his tournament. I mean, screen time is not beneficial. So, no, I think he has left, Ashlesh, because he might be working. He has some important work to do. Oh, so rook g3. Let's look at rook g3. That would be interesting, Harshal, if let's say the king was on the 9th rank, because then you would have some h4 ideas now, and then f3. But because the king is very close, he can simply play king f7 and g6, and suddenly it does not solve any purpose somehow. So rook g3 would not do anything. You should not lose control of the very important c file here, because black will also have the option of going rook c8. So that is why it's made advantage. Yes, Kushal, I saw your suggestion and you are absolutely correct. h4 is the correct move, and that's why I think Kushal deserves the mod status now. So he's going to become moderator. And so guys, h4 is the idea here. So guys, you see black has expanded on the king side. You see these pawns, they would much rather be back here. If the king was on e6, then these pawns are not weak. But because the king is back and there are some weak squares, for example, if the white knight could get to f5, I think black will suffer. But because we cannot get the knight to f5 easily, at least, and because the king will get to g6 before you get the knight to f5, you can create some more weaknesses here. And especially if you can create the f4 square for the knight, where it will attack the d5 pawn, attack the h5 pawn, control the important e6 square, I think that will be just amazing. And that's why we play the move h4. So if black captures, you see how spoiled his pawn structure is. Now we play knight f3, we capture the pawn, we get the knight to f5. Now rook g3 can also come, and suddenly white is much, much better here. Yeah, crucial. Yeah. So now guys, black in the game played knight d7, and this is kind of his way of trying to develop the knight, and he's still trying to fight because he knows that it's difficult. But now we play the obvious move, rook c7, rook to the 7th rank, rook f7, and now knight f3. Of course, attacking this pawn, we want him to move this pawn so that we gain the f4 square. If, for example, he plays rook g7, so we just capture, and play knight takes g5, and we win a pawn. So he plays g4 in the game. So now what do we play, guys? We already know which square we have to cover. So now what does white play, guys? Thanks a lot, Rohit. I am not sure if he will collab with us. If he does, that's amazing. Thanks a lot for asking. I will check that option out. Thanks a lot, Rohit. So guys, what is the maneuver here? Where should the white knight go? We have discussed this, but because it's so important, it's kind of important to re-stress this again and again. So where do we want the white knight to be, and how can we help it reach that square? Sorry guys, I have a little cold today, so I have to kind of take a few seconds of pauses sometimes. That's amazing, Rohit. I will check it out, definitely. Thanks a lot. I will check it out. Yes, Prajwal, you can go knight g1 as well, but because this knight is a bit passive, it's just that the knight on g1 is kind of out of play. I know you want to get to f4 as well, but knight e1 would be a better route because the knight is still in the center. That has more influence over the board than a knight on g1, let's say. So knight e1 is played so that the knight goes to d3 and the knight goes to f4 and that is the idea here. So f5. So black realizes, guys, that the knight is coming to f4, and if the knight gets to f4, for example here, white does play knight d3, and if the knight manages to get to f4, you can imagine the problems, the horror black is going to face. So that's why black plays f4. So now what do we play, guys? It's white to play. So what does white play here? Bye, Alpheus. Take some rest. And yeah, I think this is important, guys. See you soon. So what do you think, guys? What do you think? Harshal, I will make him mod, but let's wait for a few more subscribers so that the chat is not blue. I think everybody would be a mod now. So, and we'll do it when we have another difficult puzzle in the next stream, and he is the first one to answer, and then we'll make him mod. I think that would be a fair judgment in general overall to have in the future as well. So whenever I have a very interesting puzzle, I will keep that as a judgment to make mods. Yes, Kushal, exactly. Abhay, g3 would be exactly what black wants because you can see there's a pin. So black will just capture and you cannot capture back because there's a pin. So you will just lose a pawn for free and then black will have a protected pass pawn. So I think black is much better there. You play f3 to fix this pawn and now you see, look at the black rook. It has to defend the pawn. It has to defend the knight. And this just looks very bad for black. Yeah, Harshal, bahut mod hai. That's why I'm not making. Guys, that is not Anish Giri, I think. That is... So, now g takes, pawn takes, a5. And now white plays a4. Fixing these pawns, king f8, and now rook c6. And we can stop here because here white is just completely better. Rook h6 is a threat. King can come to f2. b4 can be a threat. Rook d6 is a threat. Rook c8 can be played. Rook c7 can be played. There are so many moves that I think somehow here I think white is just much better. Maybe he's not winning in this moment, but he's much better, and I think black will going to fall apart very soon. And that's why he will move to the next puzzle now. Let's go to the next puzzle, guys. And so guys, this was an interesting puzzle. That's why it was difficult to find this. And that's why I put up the mod status at stake here. So now we have another one. Let's see who can find this. This is a single move puzzle, guys. This one is just one move puzzle. So let's see who can find this one. You have the puzzle, guys. It's black to play. So what is the move that black should play here? Kushal, good one, Kushal, good one. Krit, if it's you, please don't do that. It can sometimes happen. It can get irritating, Krit, sometimes. I think मुझे कोट पहन के आना पड़ेगा, guys. सरनव ना बनना पड़ जाए. Don't bring the सरनव out of me. Focus, focus. Sure, Anish Giri. So guys, what is the move for black here? What is the best move for black here? Try to find it. I think there are many winning moves, but what is the, let's say, the tactically the best move here? Now it's sure that you are not Anish Giri, because knight f7 is not the move. Anish would have found it in one moment. So Krit, don't do it, because it can raise somebody's hopes. Somebody in the chat might feel very good, and then he might feel disappointed. That is the only issue. Otherwise, it would have been fine. That is the only thing, guys. I can see your messages, Padmesh. Panali, I think I might need a little break, so you can join in at 5:30, and then you can continue the stream for a little while, and then I will join in after some time. Okay, so let's look at it. So Abhay and Kushal and Ashlesh and Divya, you are absolutely correct. F4, the stunning move. So this pawn sacrifice is just completely winning. Why is it winning? By the way, guys, if you played a move like knight b5, a move like king d7 to just head to the queen side, that would also be winning. But f4 is just beautiful here because it just undoubles your pawns and it gives you connected passed pawns. So how? So if white were to capture e takes f4, no surprises, knight b5 and knight d4 is coming, and these pawns are very strong. If e4 was played, we just capture this and then we play d4, and this is just completely winning, because if bishop c4, we play d3 and the rook has to move, we capture the bishop. So the best white can do is this, but I think this is just winning, guys. There's no doubt about it. 2 pawns is not enough for a knight here. And the last try is, of course, g takes f4, but now we play knight f5, and we are simply trying to capture the pawn on e3, and that's why this is completely winning for black. Yes, Kushal, we need the f5 square for the knight, and we need these 2 pawns to be passed pawns so that they can move freely without any protection, without any, let's say, problem from white, any obstructions, and that's why f4 was the best. Yes, Divya. Yes, Divya, exactly. Hi, Siddharth. Guys, do like the stream, and if you're here for the first time, do subscribe to the channel, guys. So now we move on to the next one, and let's look at the next one now, guys. So next one is very interesting, because I think somehow somehow this is the typical place where you kind of tempt your opponent into going wrong. Semi-tempting, let's say. So what does black play here, guys? What is black's best idea? Try to find it. Hi, Shahir. If you would like to contact me, you can send us an email. You can message me on Instagram, but I do not follow it very extensively. So just send me a mail on, there's a contact us option on chessassist.com, or you can contact me on Instagram. I will definitely see it in the day. I check it once a day, so I will check it out. Just message me on Instagram. I am AG, sir. No, Krit, that will not work. So what is the best way for black to play here, guys? Okay, knight e6 is one move and c5 is another. I will come to those. Until then, let's guys try to understand the position and try to think, where does white's weaknesses lie and how can we force him to make his position even weaker or create more weaknesses, let's say. Sanket, you are absolutely correct. But how does white utilize that? Black utilize that? That is what you have to find out. Try to think, guys. Take your time. There's no hurry. Try to take your time. Pranali, you can join in after this puzzle, I guess. After this puzzle, you can join in. Because I'm going to show only one game after this, one of my games, where I use this principle. So that will be interesting. Okay, Krit. Okay, Ashlesh, I saw your move. I will come to it. Guys, keep thinking. Keep thinking. What is the best idea here, guys? What is the best idea? Try to find it, because you can, because it's very interesting. Black has this solid position, but his pieces are kind of behind in his ranks. And white has this expanded position and it looks very good, but he has left behind many weaknesses. How can we utilize those weaknesses? Okay, guys, I think I'm back. I am back, guys. So that was not too slow, I think. What happens, guys, sometimes is that the internet electricity failure ki wajah se the internet disconnects for a couple of minutes. It takes up a couple of minutes for the router to connect back. So I'm back now. So guys, okay, we are ready, set. So who has found the correct solution, guys? Pranali, I'm going to create a Google Meet link for you and you can join in. So until then, people can find the solution. Okay, so Kushal says bishop g6 and Sanket says bishop h5 and then bishop d4. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I understand your point. Okay, so let's try to see now, guys. Guys, do you have any more suggestions? Then I will mention the solution. Rook c8 is another. Okay, I will check it out. I'm going to create a meeting for Pranali now, guys. And then I think I will tell you the solution. So Pranali will also be joining us. Pranali, I've sent you the link on WhatsApp. You can join in and then I will add you to the stream. Okay, guys, so now we look at the solution. So let's look at the moves, guys. So the first move you mentioned is rook c8. That is the classic move, guys. I mean, if I was playing blitz, I think that is the first move that will come to mind, just to kind of protect this pawn. That can be played. That can be played. Pawn takes, and maybe even pawn takes, and or even rook takes. Both look fine. That is obviously possible, guys. The next move, rook takes e3, I think is a bit too much, guys, because bishop h5, it's not threatening anything. I can just play a move like rook a e1, or I can even just capture the pawn here, and I don't see any problem because capturing here is not a serious threat for white. In fact, you have undoubled his pawns. The e3 pawn is weak, but I don't see it as a huge problem for white because this bishop is kind of completely blocked. It's not doing anything. That's why it's a problem. Yes, there might be a simul. There might be a simul for sure. So now, the best move here is bishop to h5. That is the best move. The idea being, guys, that the knight is hanging. The knight cannot move. Why? Because the pawn is hanging. So if white were to play a move like knight d2, you can just capture the pawn for free, and the rook is also attacked, so he already has to play a move like rook a e1. But with the bishop pair and an extra pawn, black is much, much better. For example, rook a e1 and queen b6, you can see there's immense pressure on the white position. So definitely not this. Yes, Ashlesh, you did. I just got disconnected, so that's why I could not check your solution. I'm sorry about that. So now white has to play g4. That is the only move for white here to prevent this. And now we just play bishop f7 back. So very clever. So we kind of just played bishop h5 and bishop f7, tempting white and kind of forcing white to play g4 and weakening his king position. You see now the king is much weaker. The f4 pawn is weak, the g4 pawn is weak. All these squares, they should actually be red, I think, if I could find the red color, but I think all of these squares look very weak. Exactly, Pratik. So yes, Kushal, knight is protecting h7. That's why. So in this position, white played b takes c6, rook c8, queen b2, b takes c6, and he played f5. So why was f5 played? Because black is threatening knight e6, so knight f5 for f4 would be a serious threat, and that's why it's a problem. Yes, Pranali, I'm adding you. I almost forgot. Just a moment. So I'll put you on stream, Pranali. Give me a second. So I'm adding Pranali now, guys. Give me a moment. Audio output capture, and there it is. I have added you, Pranali. They can hear you. I'll add your video after I finish this puzzle. Until then, you can talk. You are live, Pranali. So Pranali is live, guys.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think they can. They will let you know. Pratik, we will see that is not possible. So for example, if king h1 here, a move like knight e6 and f4 is falling. So if f5, I think both knight f4 and knight g5 look interesting. Probably I will play knight f4. It's a more human move. And later on I will play h5 and break open your position. So that's why f5 was played in the position. And now queen d6, of course, you can see bringing your queen on this diagonal cannot be bad. So knight g2, bishop c7, rook e1, h5. Finally, black plays h5. He wants to break through this pawn chain white has created, and one by one, he will try to enter with all of his pieces. h3 and knight h7. Improving.
Sahil?
Yeah, I will add your video. I will add your video, Pranali. I just want to finish this.
Yeah, and you'll have to present the screen because, like.
Yeah, sorry. That I'll do. That I'll do.
First, you'll have. First, you'll have to present and then share.
Yes. So I'll finish the puzzle and then I will add your video.
Cool.
So now h5, knight h7, and here white just captured, black captured, rook e1, rook b8, queen c1, knight g5. An excellent move because the knight is protecting h2 and we just try to remove it from f3. So knight e5 was played, but here just f takes, queen takes g5, and now e4, and white had to resign because queen h2 is coming, the bishop is hanging. There are so many problems in white's camp. For example, bishop c2, just queen h2, king f1, queen h1, king e2, and we capture the knight for free, and white is lost. So this was the idea here, guys. And you see how in the initial position, it looks like rook c8 might be the best move, but because we can tempt white into opening up his king side, that's why just wasting two moves with bishop h5, g4, and bishop f7, I think is the best way to do things. Yes, Kushal, because against weaker players, maybe you will not need such things because they might make mistakes automatically. But against stronger players, they will not do that. And you have to kind of help them create their own weaknesses, let's say. So now I'm going to add Pranali's video as well, guys. Let me wait a moment. I'm going to add her video. Oh, it will leak the link, right? It will leak the link, right? So I will have to add it very carefully. I don't know. Guys, if you see the link, do not join in, please. I can only.
What you can do is you can. Well.
I can't even see it actually. So, right now.
No, you'll have to click on.
Yeah, I'll have to open that window, I think, and then I'll be able to do it. Yes.
You can just quickly slide it up. So
yeah. So guys, I have one more game for you. We're going to look at one of my games which I played. So that will be important. because it covers this topic somehow.
Yeah, perfect.
So let's try to see now, guys.
Yeah, it wasn't visible.
Maybe for a moment, but okay.
No, it wasn't.
I don't have that. I can add that around you, but okay. ठीक है, ऐसे भी ठीक है. Yes, exactly. We can help them to create their own weaknesses. Yes. Yes, Ashlesh. So, guys, so now we come to an interesting game which I played in the Goa Grandmaster Open. I played this in 2018. Actually, Pernali also played that tournament. But this game was very interesting because we'll try to find out the best moves here. And we'll see how it goes. So, new game. We flip the board and we paste the game. So this is from the London system, guys. So yeah, Padmesh leaked.
Just a second.
Okay, we have a guys. I'm sure there'll be no issues. So now we're going to look at a game, guys, and it is very important because this is one of the games that I played against a lower player, and even though let's say the rating difference was high, my opponent was rated around 1750, I was 2250, but it shows the classic ideas on how you can tempt your opponent into making mistakes. So that way it will be very difficult for your opponents to kind of they will always be under pressure, guys. You can imagine, for example, right now when Anish came, even I felt a lot of excitement. Ashlesh could not handle his emotions, and when you're playing against a strong player, you feel that during the game, and that is not helpful. So if you're playing against stronger players, knowing tactics and techniques to kind of help them, tempt them into creating weaknesses is a very valuable skill, and that's why we're going to learn that. Yeah, very good audience, Prajwal, exactly. Obvious did not crash with. Obvious is fine. So now we'll look at a game, guys. I played this in 2018 in the Goa Grandmaster Open, and this was the first round, and I did not have time to prepare because it was the first round, and the first round usually starts immediately after the pairing comes out. So let's look at the
Yeah,
game.
you never really have any time actually.
Hi Shinchan Nohara, glad to see you here. So d4, knight f6, bishop f4, e6, e3, d5. And here, usually because there's an idea of bishop d6 and knight e4 to capture the bishop on g3, the move order with knight d2 is the best way to do it. So c5, c3, knight c6, and knight f3. Rishul, he came, I think, 45 minutes ago or one hour ago, I think. And he stayed here for a good 10 minutes. So that was absolutely amazing to interact with him.
Yeah,
And I'm sad that all of our audience wasn't there to kind of talk to him. And even Pernali wasn't on stream. I wish he was also there. But I think, yeah, but okay. It was still fun that we got to interact. And even all of the people in the chat, that was amazing. Ashlesh almost had a heart attack.
Heart attack. Yeah.
Okay. So now bishop d6 and bishop g3. Now, if you are playing as black in the London system, I do not recommend this system. This was supposed to be the main line for many, many years, but I do not recommend this at all, and we'll see now why. So black castled, we develop our last minor piece, bishop d3 and b6, guys. This is the classic main line. Black tries to put his bishop on b7, and then he will try to play moves like knight e7 and knight e4. So a combination of these two moves, if he managed to do that, in that case, I think he would just be better. Prajwal, not definitely. He does not like Among Us, and we also have kind of not big fans right now because we have gotten it. It's been a while. We'll play it, but without him, of course. No, Padmesh. Anish actually came. Anish came. He was here for a whole of 10 minutes, I think. He was here and he even answered
Yeah,
one
you
of the
even
puzzles
saw
very
it.
quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he solved the puzzle within seconds. I think we really need to practice more and be that fast. So now, guys, b6, there are two moves for white. One is the simple e4, but this is something I had already played in the previous game. So I played queen e2, which is supposed to be the best move. It is the engine's first choice. And queen
You
c2
played
is...
this against someone, right? Queen e2 structure, but your opponent had played knight d7.
Knight e5 is also a move, Kushal, here. Knight e5 is also a move. That is considered to be a move, but I usually prefer two moves, that is e4 and queen e2. Because knight e5, usually black will get his knight to e4 in most cases. That is also fine. Queen c2 is not a good square for the queen, guys, because the bishop usually has to go back here. You want the bishop to be pointing towards h7. If black plays c4, you have to go back to e2. And this is what I don't like at all. So that's why the queen on e2 is well placed. Prajwal, we have not checked the details. I just know that there's a tournament today. That's why we are going to have another stream. There's also Carlsen's match today, so we will cover it definitely, guys. Don't worry. I don't know all the details for any of these tournaments right now because we have not seen them properly. Because once we plan the stream, then we analyze everything, and they have not started yet. But we will look at all these tournaments. Don't worry, and we might also do assignments. So we have a very busy day today ahead. So we'll definitely cover all those, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, and we might just do this in one stream. You never know. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. We can take a break, but Nali can continue with the stream and then... Yeah, Harshal. So now a5 was played. And here I played a very psychological move. So I can castle here, guys. But because black has played a5, I thought that he's running out of moves. He's not sure about what to play here. And that's why he might just play c4 next. Usually c4 is not a great move unless your pawns are pushing very quickly forwards. So that's why. And I played the move a3 here, which is a helpful move. Guys, I'm getting
who are you playing against?
Can you just take the stream for a minute? I'm getting a call.
Yeah. You played a3, right? Yeah, yes. So he played a3. I think he just wanted to wait and check if his opponent is doing anything. I think bishop a6 is not possible right now because queen is on e2. What else can black play here? Maybe black can just play... He can play rook e8 and try to break with e5 since the queen is on e2. But I'm not so sure actually because rook e8, maybe knight e5 can be a strong move to prevent e5. I think a3 was just played to wait. It's a waiting move, guys, and such moves are useful, especially if you know that if you figure out that your opponent is not really doing much or he doesn't know what to do, then you can just be patient and wait and not reveal any of your plans because already your opponent is confused and you can further try to confuse him by playing such moves. I guess that's what Sahil did. I don't really know who is he playing against, and well, he can guide you the best. A4 maybe not. A4 is very direct and it is just, you're just giving the idea of like preventing b5. A3 is more like you're keeping the idea of...
So guys, that was a call from Chessbase India. So they are sending us the second serial key today. And that means that we'll be sending you the prizes tomorrow. All of you. So Prateek will receive Chessbase 16. And I think it was Daksh will receive the lucky prize. Puri will receive the women's prize. And then we had Rachit, who won the Chessbase 16 from the A section. Then we had, I think it was Yusuf, who won the second prize for the Chess Assist course. And finally, these were the prizes. And it was amazing, guys, because we thought there might be issues, but we had an amazing response to the tournament. And it was fun because at least 2 people's lives, in fact 5 people's lives will be changed by this, at least a little bit. and it would be amazing. So congratulations to all the winners, and we'll be sending you the prizes tomorrow, guys. So you'll receive them by email tomorrow. I'm going to again type it in the Discord, and if you're seeing the chat, do confirm us your email IDs. We don't want to accidentally send it to the wrong email ID, because we have your emails, but there might be some errors. We noticed a couple of errors in a couple of email addresses. So anybody who's seeing the stream, guys, do pass on the message to the people who have won. Yusuf, Pratik, Rachit, Purvi, and Daksh. It was.
And one more.
And one more. I think I will just check who it was. I will just check, guys. I have it written somewhere. I think it was the second. Who was second after Pratik? I think it was Yusuf only. And
Rachit.
after Rachit, second was, I think, I have it written, but I'll have to check. Who was second after Rachit?
I don't remember.
Yeah, so there were 6 people, I remember. And winners, do send us your email addresses. You know, of course, you have won. So send us your email addresses on Discord or our website or any through, and we'll mail you the.
Kaustubh.
Yes, S. Makon. S. Makon. Yes, S. Makon. So these were the 6 winners. Do email us again, confirming your email addresses, and let us know so that we can send you the email ID. There is the serial key and the files, but there is no issue at all that way. Hi, Ashlesh. That's amazing, Ashlesh. That's amazing. Yes, we have received it, guys. So you'll receive the prizes tomorrow, and do not share these keys with anybody, guys. It can cause some sort of problems, because it can be issues, because you're not allowed to, and your serial key might stop working, or there might be issues. So do not share it with them. You have to keep them safe until you use them. So be very careful with them. If somebody else uses it, you will not be able to use it. So be very careful with this.
They can be only used once.
Yes, exactly. So be very careful. It's like using a Netflix subscriptions. One time you enter, if somebody uses your card details, it's over. The money is withdrawn. So do take care of that. I don't have Anish Giri on my speed dial, unfortunately. So now we'll rush through with the game now, guys. We'll continue with the game. So now C4, guys, exactly what I expected him to play. And bishop to C2. So now you see, because there is no pressure on the pawn on D4, I am ready to play E4, guys. That is the idea here. And if I manage to play through E4, I think I would be much better, and that I did in the game. So black plays B5. Black is trying to break through on the queen side.
What was your idea with E3 and why not A4? Someone asked this. So I wasn't sure.
Guys, usually black will play B5, C4, B4 here. You can play A4, but usually that will open up the B file very quickly. For example, the B file can open, black can sacrifice sometimes, and it doesn't matter whether you play A3 or A4, the B file will open, because black's play lies on the queen side. So A3 is important, because at some point you have to play A3 or A4, but I'm playing it right now so that I tempt black into playing C4, and I don't waste a move with castling. I can directly go for the attack. So A3 is a useful move. It will be played at some point. Hi, Shashwat.
Yeah.
Black and white video, I do not understand.
I think Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Okay. Okay, yeah, I remember that video. Yeah, I think that was made way back. Yeah, when we kind of felt if it might help, but okay, we had a new channel back then. We still do kind of, but we made it way back actually. So now A3, C4, bishop C2, B5 and E4. And now, because there is no pressure on the pawn on D4, I can play E4, and E5 is a threat. So bishop E7 and now E5. And this is the opening theory, guys. This is all opening theory. So knight H5. And now I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think white can play here? It's your move. So this is the first moment where you can tempt black into creating some weaknesses. So try to find the move for white, guys.
I think I found the move, but I'm not too sure.
I have a little cold today, guys. Sorry about that. So I have to constantly keep this in hand. So now, guys, what do you think is the move for white? So because somehow here...
It's someone's favorite move.
Yeah. I mean, it's an attacking move, of course. But
it is very obvious if I just give this hint. It is Alpha Zero's favorite move.
No, actually, that is what I played in the game, Pannali. But there is even a better move. there's an even better move, which was the engine's first recommendation after I analyzed the game. So let's see who can find it.
Rajesh, Abhay, yeah, you have the move.
Okay, knight g5. Padmesh, knight h4 is of course not the move. The piece is hanging. Not bishop takes h7, Alpheus. No, not that. So the move is knight g5, guys. It's an attacking move. You're tempting black to create weaknesses here. For example, let's say he plays g6. So what is the move now, guys? What do you think is the move for white here? Just a moment, guys.
Tactics, guys, tactics.
Just a moment, guys. Just a moment. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's
Sahil,
fine now.
are we going to play against them? So then I'll have to handle OBS.
Yes, you can then kind of use the Steam key, and
Yeah.
then you can kind of do that. So for right now, it's fine.
I don't think there's a lag.
I don't think there's a lag, guys. I just kind of removed the screen for a brief moment, guys. It was not lag. I just want to adjust something. So now, guys, what do you think is the move for white here? How do you think? Hi, Brijesh. So what do you think is the move? Yes, guys, knight takes h7 is the move, because when king takes h7, queen takes h5, the pawn is pinned. And also, guys, one more thing to keep in mind: if knight takes g3, luckily for white, h takes g3 supports the knight, and that's why it's just lost for black again. So that's why this is an interesting move. But what if black plays bishop takes g5? We capture on h5, and now g6. If h6 here, then we play knight f3, so we again bring our pieces into play. If bishop takes d2, king takes d2, and again we are forcing black to weaken his king. You see, forcing your opponent's king to play one of the pawns is always good. Hi Vishal, guys who have joined us right now. We had Anish Giri in the chat earlier. That was just amazing. I could not believe it myself until I saw the tick in front of his name. So that was amazing. Great, queen takes h5 does not work. It does not work. We'll analyze why. So let's say knight g5, g6, queen takes h5.
I'll just be back. I'm just arranging OBS.
Yeah. Takes, and just king g7, and there's nothing to do. There's not even any checks here. Yeah. I mean, even Tal would not have played queen takes h5, guys. So now, bishop takes g5, queen takes h5, and now g6 was played by my opponent. And now I just play queen h3 and bishop d7. Okay, this was something that could have been played in the game, guys. So all of this you see is aimed at forcing black to push his pawn, guys. The idea is this weakens the dark squares. If you can exchange this black bishop, suddenly all of this squares, this dark square complex around black's king will be very weak. And then suddenly knight f3, queen h6, h4, h5, it will be very difficult for black to kind of counter this. The only counter he will have a move like f5, but we are not forced to capture. We can still play the same plans. Hi, Raj. So I don't know, Krit, if he'll return. Let's see. So he might return for a brief moment if he decides to raid us, but he's not going to stream for a while, so that might be in the future. Let's see, guys. So now we go back to the game. I in the game played h4. Now this is also kind of similar idea. So we want to play knight g5. And in the game, my opponent played g6. You see, he has to play g6 because we're threatening knight g5. So again, he was forced to play g6, guys. And because he's forced to weaken up his king, you see, again, these squares are weak. All of these squares are weak. Krit, don't spam. Relax, Krit. Krit, relax a little bit. Now, queen e3. So you see, guys, we are entering with the queen. We are trying to use these squares for our pieces. And whenever you want to attack, the queen is the most important piece because it is the most... Pannali, we can hear you. I got scared by your sneeze.
Sorry, guys.
Shall I mute you for a moment? So now guys, my opponent played f5 and we do not capture guys. We do not capture because the problem is that somehow if we capture, his position suddenly opens up. All his pieces come into play. The knight will go to g7 and f5 and suddenly his position is not so bad. It's still worse, but not so bad. Hi Pratik. Hi Pro Gaming. Yeah, everyone is hyped up. I understand. So, okay. So now guys, bishop f4 was played. So we want to play moves like bishop g5, exchanging these dark square bishops, and then we'll get to use these dark square for our queen. So he captured, queen takes, bishop d7, and now we come to you guys again. So guys, what is the move here? What is the move I played? What is the best move in this position? How can we continue with the attack? Try to find the correct move. Yeah, Vishal, we got scared. We got scared. Pranali, you are still audible, so do take care.
No, I
Yeah.
was on mute. I am on mute. I kept myself on mute.
Okay, you're on mute. Okay. Yeah, Pratik, I understand. Yeah, Ashlesh, I understand. Even I got scared for a moment. Okay, I understand. She's sick, guys. She's sick. She had COVID and she's still not recovered. So we understand, of course. Okay, Queen h6 is possible. I think Queen h6 is a move. It's one of the moves here, definitely. But the only problem I have with Queen h6 is it's kind of including the same piece. The Queen is already kind of in attack. So can we involve more pieces into the attack? Now knight g5 is possible again. But the problem here is that maybe black can he play h6? I'm not so sure. Maybe he can. Or he can at least just continue with his queenside play. And now you cannot push h5 guys because the knight is hanging. So you can of course play this and continue. This is possible, of course. This feels possible. But there's a better move, guys. There's a better and a quicker move. It's okay, Krith. It's okay. You might get to meet him later. Yes, Brajesh, you're absolutely correct. We want to open up the king side as much as possible, and that's why we play g4, which is the best move in the position. Rook h3 would not do much, Vishal, because right now we are not threatening to double the rooks. So, yeah, I understand you want to play rook h3, rook g3, but the rook is also doing well on the h file. So now we are also opening up the g file. So if we can open up these two files, it will be just amazing for our pieces because he can attack. And because the center is blocked, guys, it's not easy for him to attack our king. Sure, Ashlesh, you can say. Yes, Padmesh, g4. Now bishop e8 was played. We play king e2. An interesting move because we are not scared. We don't want to put the king on c1 where it can come under attack. The king on e2 is very safe, guys. You can see the e file is blocked, the d file is blocked, the f file is blocked, and the king on e2 is perfectly placed. So now b4, black is trying. He of course has to try. Rook a g1, and now both rooks are on open semi-open files, or hopefully semi-open files, let's say. It is definitely the best move, Pratik. After all, you also won the tournament. Yes, Vijesh, rook g1, you're absolutely correct. Pawn takes, and now black captured the pawn. Well, what will he do? His position does feel very bad here. There does not seem to be any defense because if he captures, queen takes, and h5 is coming. So he just takes the material and hopes for the best. If he captures f takes g4, guys, you just capture with the queen. And because the bishop is also there, next h5 will be very strong for white. So that's why this is just breaking through. The queen cannot get to the defense. The rook cannot get to the defense. It takes up too much time. And this bishop is kind of blocking everything for black. You see, it has no decent squares. That's why bishop a3 was played, guys. Oh my God, Ashlesh. Thank God you... thank God you allowed. Otherwise, I would have unmodded you. So now bishop takes a3, and now we capture the pawn, guys. We open up the g file for the attack, and now h5, guys. Rook a7 takes, bishop takes, and now what do we play, guys? This is the final position, at least for this concept, for basically trying to break through and trying to induce weaknesses. What does white play here? What is the winning move for white here? Try to find it. No, Krit, he wasn't cheating. Yeah, Pratik, yeah, Bishop, with its proud student. Okay, Krit, rook takes g6, you say. Okay, guys, so what do you think is the move? Come on. We have to finish off black here. So what do you think black can play? Because it's trying to strike, guys. We have brought all our pieces. Bishop is correctly placed. Rooks are correctly placed. The queen is into attack. Every knight can come into attack. Everything is perfectly placed. This is the time to strike before black can start defending somehow. So how do we play this? I won't, Ashlesh. I won't take it. Yes, guys. Rook takes g6 or queen h6. I started with rook takes g6, pawn takes, queen h6, king f7, knight g5, king e7, queen takes g6, queen e8, queen e6, king d8, queen takes d5, king c8, knight takes c4. Just look at this position, guys. Bishop e7, knight e6, rook f7, and bishop to a4. Just look at this position, guys. It is just amazing. Look at these knights, look at these bishops, look at the queen, look at the rook, and look at black's pieces. Rook a6, and now bishop to b5, and just look at white's pieces, how beautiful they are. And I really love this game because even though the opponent was lower rated than me, he was 400 points lower rated. I was 2250 and he was 17, even 500, 1750. But still, I think this was an amazing game. I love this game because you look at these pieces, they're just amazingly well placed. And we reached here because we forced black to play g6, weaken his dark squares. Then we kind of made this bishop bad by not allowing him to move, blocked black's position, and then opened up the g and h files, and we win. Complete domination, Divya. Exactly. Exactly. This was the game, guys, and it was very interesting. I love playing this game, and this was the topic. Now, Panali will join in very soon. I will take some sort of break for a few minutes. Guys, if you want us to continue, we can continue right now. There's a Carlsen's game going on, and also we have to look at Giri's tournament, and also we have to do a simul. If you want, we can just continue right now. If you want, we can stream later. So what do you want, guys? What do you think would be beneficial for you? If you have the energy, we can continue right now. If you don't have the energy, then we can come back later, maybe in a couple of hours. So which one do you think is better for you guys?
Can you hear me?
Yes, Panali, you're audible. You're audible on the stream as well. He's playing a tournament with 7 other super grandmasters, Krit, and it's an event on chess.com, which we will check out. And there's also the Speed Chess Championship, which will also be played today, Carlsen versus Artimev. So that's the Speed Chess Championship, Alpheus. Pratik, tomorrow, Simul, we can do that. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Which tournament, Raj? Let me look at it, guys. Just a moment. Okay, the games have begun, guys. Okay, so Anish's games have already begun. That is amazing. I did not know that. We should check them out, guys. Ah, they have already begun, guys. And let's follow Anish's games, guys. I think it makes sense. Uh, a lot of sense, I think. Okay, that one. Okay. Simul will let you know, guys. Simul will probably have on Lichess. It's possible to organize on Lichess. Either we'll have it tonight or tomorrow. That will let you know. Yes, guys, I think all of you need some rest. Maybe Panali, shall we stream later after some time?
Okay.
That would be
Or
beneficial.
you could take rest. I can cover the games.
Okay, yeah. I think you can cover the games. You will
Or
find
maybe we can stream later. Maybe we can stream later. That
Okay, guys. So what we'll do is we'll be back in some time, maybe around 7. So do join us at 7, guys. In an hour or maybe at 7:30. I'll put out the stream pretty soon, and we'll look at Carlson's game and we'll look at Giri's game. There are 2 tournaments going on right now, so we'll look at both of these tournaments, and maybe if the tournaments end, then we'll have a simul at the end of the day, and it'll be a fun day today, guys, because Anish showed up. It definitely made my day, and I'm sure it made yours as well. So we'll see you soon, guys. Panali has set up her OBS. She's ready, and she will come, and I will also come on the stream. We'll join you in 1 or 1.5 hours. I can share the link, guys. I can share the link with you. You can check it out, and we'll join very soon, guys. We'll join very soon, and we'll cover both those tournaments. This is the event for Chess.com where Anish is playing. I will let you know the results, guys. Anish has won against Wang Hao. He won a very convincing game, and he has drawn against Yu Yang so far. So he has 1.5 out of 2. He's definitely leading the tournament. He's leading the tournament right now, so I hope he can be lucky charms for him. Yeah, Prateek, you can do your work, and then we'll see you soon, guys. See you, guys. We'll join you very soon. And again, Anish, thank you for joining. It means a lot. And bye, guys. See you in a little while. Thank you for joining us. I hope you learned something, and we'll see you soon, guys. Bye, guys.